Thank you all for joining us today to learn more about the exciting safety improvements coming to North Avenue. We are thrilled to share with you the investments being made to improve safety, accessibility, and connectivity to the Northside community. First, I would like to introduce you to Panini Chowdhury, Senior Manager, Planning Manager at DOMI, who will discuss the community engagement efforts and planning phase that have helped shape this important project. Panini?
Thanks, Olga. My name is Panini Chowdhury. I'm the Senior Plan Manager of the city and had the great fortune to serve this city close to 5 years at this moment. Today is a great day for Northside and even a greater one for Allegheny City Central. This moment has been years in the making. The vision first laid out in 2014 Allegheny City Central Master Plan, reinforced in the 2016 Lower Northside Bicycle Connection Study, and highlighted in countless discussion on the Allegheny Circle two-way conversion, North Promenade project, and also in the East Ohio Street Plan that is now closer than ever to becoming a reality. We began working on this work around 2020 during the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Through ongoing discussions with Council District 1, the Allegheny City Central Association, the Northside Leadership Conference, Highland Health, Highmark Health, Pittsburgh King, and countless engaged community members, one thing was clear to us: North Avenue belongs to the people. The community envisioned a street where nature meets urban life, a street that prioritizes safety, accessibility, and vibrancy. The community asked for a human-centric, context-sensitive street design, a street where they could cross safely to Allegheny Common Park, where elderly residents and patients wouldn't feel rushed or unsafe when crossing at the Federal and North Ave intersection. They wanted a pedestrian or transit-focused corridor, but through collaboration, we merged those priorities into a single unified plan that will now be implemented. At the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, we believe in the dignity of human mobility. We believe that infrastructure improvement can drive economic revitalization. And more importantly, we are committed to designing a street that is forgiving to human mistakes, because no one should lose their life for simply trying to get where they need to go. We aim to bring those visions to life through this project. DOMI is proud to collaborate with the community to bring our shared vision for North Avenue to life, and a tremendous amount of work has brought us to this point. And now I would like to invite our municipal traffic engineer, my good friend, Mr. Mike Malik, to share more about what has been done and what can be expected from this project moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Panini. So before I get into the particulars of this project, I first want to thank SBC, PennDOT, and FHWA for funding, as well as acknowledge that this project was partially funded by congressional earmarks from Mike Doyle's office, as well as the American Rescue Plan. In particular, I want to acknowledge that getting this project done in time for encumbrance for the American Rescue Plan funding was hard, and a lot of people had to come together and work under a tight deadline to make this happen. I want to acknowledge PennDOT District 11 and their local projects team, who expedited their review for this project. I want to acknowledge AECOM, the designer, who also completed this work under a tight deadline. Thank you to Larson Design Group, our construction manager for the project, and CH&D Enterprises, the general contractor. This project had discussions with the community at every major milestone. Panini got into that a bit earlier, but I want to acknowledge that these discussions do not happen without elected officials such as Councilman Wilson and Mayor Adgani. And these officials also care about walkability. They care about people in their communities. And so I'm deeply thankful to work and partner with them on this project. For my team at DOMI, I want to acknowledge my former colleagues Eric Stein, Nick Ross, Dara Braitman, and my current colleague Panini Chaudhry for their work on the plan itself. For my team, Sean Stevens is the deputy project manager, and I also want to especially congratulate Patty Kearns for her work as she tirelessly blasted through every hurdle to get this project designed and ready for construction this year. So in my role as the municipal traffic engineer for the city of Pittsburgh, my job is to complete projects that benefit traffic. And to me, a project that benefits traffic is one that makes it safer for people to get from point A to point B, regardless of their mobility. This project does that for many different modes. 4 new traffic signals, including updated signal timing, as well as updated left turn phasing, which will be a benefit for the people and motor vehicles. These traffic signal replacements will come with new ADA curb ramps, pedestrian countdown timers, and audible pedestrian push buttons, which is a benefit for the pedestrians as well as the low vision pedestrians and those who use a wheelchair to get around. This project has 2,200 square yards of new or replaced sidewalk, 1,100 feet of newly painted crosswalks, 4 new pedestrian refuge islands. There's a lot to be excited about here, and I'm very hopeful and looking forward to being back here in 2026 for a ribbon cutting. But ultimately, in my role, the traffic that has benefited from this project that means most to me is that if the person on this side of the street in the park feels safer crossing to go over to the businesses, or if the people who live on that side of the street feel safer getting to the park, all of my hopes and wishes for this project will come true. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. As you heard Mike explain, the project is critical in highlighting the safety needs and the impact that it will definitely have on this community. At this time, I would like to bring forth Councilmember Bobby Wilson, whose district we're in.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be back on the lower part of the north side where we're once again making another investment. And this one has been one that's been in the works for quite some time. So it's great to see all the partners that came together to make this happen. You know, I have to say I have a few moments. If we go back 6 years ago, the residents were asking where this project was. And so, you know, once again, it's great to be at a moment in time where we're celebrating another groundbreaking in District 1. You know, when I think of a project like this, I think about all the materials that go into making this project happen. And just yesterday, I was listening to Freakonomics. It's a podcast that I'm sure maybe many of you are familiar with it. They have great stories and makes you feel like you're actually going to learn something about economics or the world or something, you know? Like, it's just those podcasts that you can put on and listen to. There was an episode on there where they talk about when we're going to run out of sand because we have to use sand to make concrete. I'm going to cut this short because it's a pretty long podcast. But the point of me bringing this up is that, you know, they say we're going to run out of it. And we probably will someday. And they put, you know, a marker on there like 50 years. But when I look at projects like this and what DOMI does with concrete and asphalt and traffic signals every day, you know, these projects are much more than the materials, much more than traffic signals and all the materials that go into making this project happen. It's about saving lives. It's about making sure that we're going to connect our neighborhoods back to our parks. And there are so many amenities here where you can reflect on a project like this and talk about so much more than just some materials. And that's why, you know, projects like this, whether it's North Avenue or Brighton Road, where when you reduce the amount of lanes that people sit in traffic and you put the appropriate timing of signals and you make safe passages for pedestrians, that you're really making sure that these streets that are owned by Pittsburgh are ones for the people of Pittsburgh. And I'm sure maybe others have stories of seeing, what's around the hospital based on a popular series called The Pit. But I mean, it is no lie that this street is a very serious street. People are concerned about traffic, but more so, we need safe passages to not only that hospital, but for the people who are going to cross it. And whenever they cross it, my hope and my dream someday is that these medians will be filled with plantings that will represent, what's across the street in the park, and it will make a good connection. And so, coming here today, there's many thank yous, but there's just so much to say about a project like this, in terms of, the safer pedestrian, the new mid-block, the road diet. We've done a road diet on Brighton Road, and there were many doubts of how that project would turn out. And there were complaints about traffic then, and I have to say that the engineering on that project was superb. So Mike, I thank you and all your colleagues and who you've replaced from the past, and look forward to all the great engineering that you all can continue to do. Because we trust in you and the director in times like this, whenever we're gonna make these hard choices. But all the appropriate amount of public input went into this to make sure that we were checking all our bases to make sure that everyone was heard. There were several meetings. I remember at least 4 public meetings going back even 3 years ago. So the project continually changed, but we continually made sure the public was aware of those changes. And just so I don't forget anyone in terms of these thank yous in a project like this, and a project that is upwards of $5 million, I really appreciate everything that went into this. Not only the federal earmarks, the federal money, the state, and then also our local funds that make this happen. So I want to thank Mayor Adgani for your work on this project, making sure that the community that I represent, you represent, is heard. Make sure this project has the appropriate amount of funding to get done, and continue to make sure that we're making sure that these projects like this save lives. Make sure I thank the director, Kim Lucas, DOMI director, Kim Lucas, track engineer, Mike Mallock, and project manager, Patty Kearns. Patty, there you are. Thanks once again, and the last public engagement was great, so appreciate all your work on this. And all the other engineers and planners at the Department of Building and Infrastructure to make sure this project happens. So once again, we're standing here, another meaningful improvement for the Northside, and looking forward to grabbing a shovel to celebrate this in just a moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Wilson. Now, my honor to bring forth Mayor Adgani, who will speak on the significance of the North Avenue Signals and Safety Project.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here, first and foremost, as we continue to talk about how we improve our overall traffic calming in our parks and in our streets to make sure that our pedestrians, our residents, have a better quality of life. Before I begin, I want to thank Domi, Kim, Mike, I see you out there. Project manager, see you out there. I want to make sure I say thank you to everybody, because without you, this is not possible. It's only possible when departments, the city, council office, and residents come together to work on projects that's going to enhance the overall quality of our life. So North Avenue is a vital corridor for the North Side. Living neighborhoods, the businesses, Allegheny Common Parks will serve as a great gathering space, and you see how much traffic is out here right now. So we understand just how important things are. This project is about protecting the people who use this space every day, whether it's our families or seniors, our transit riders, and most importantly, the students who walk from and to school through this corridor every day. A huge thank you again to Department of Mobility and Infrastructure. Thank you to the design group, Larson Design Group, AECOM, CH&D, and PennDOT for stepping up to help close the funding gap. I always say it takes a relationship of state and private to be able to pull these type projects off. So I just want to thank everybody for the progress and investing in our neighborhoods, continuing to make our city the safest city in America. And it's these projects just like this that helps us take one more step to achieving that goal. Thank you, and Northside, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I would like to bring forth DOMI, PennDOT, Mayor Bobby Wilson. We're going to grab a shoulder. There's no digging per se, because as you can see down the street, the project is in the process of taking place. So we're going to hold the shovels, just hold them in front, symbolizing we're doing this.
Signals and safety. Yeah.